Something epic happened at work today. And to celebrate, we all got a bunch of soul food and comfort food for our 3 p.m. afternoon tea break, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a time on Friday where we all slack off and do nothing. And I slammed 2 bubble tea, milk tea with tapioca pearls and grass jelly. And although it's 0% sugar, it's still a ton of calories. And that's why I'm here on a walk right now in this beautiful forest trail, trying to lose a couple of pounds. I saw this comment earlier on my previous video about this guy asking the question that if I had $100 million at my disposal, would I still appreciate Tudors the way I do now? And he was insinuating that I would probably be spending it on Pateks and Richard Mille's. And also he left a little bit of a comment at the end about me feeding a lot of nonsense onto the internet. It really got me thinking, and not in a negative way, but at what net worth do I need to be for me to potentially stop the appreciation for Tudors? Like, how rich do I have to be to no longer be able to see the beauty in Tudor watches? Now, I thought about that question, and $100 million, obviously, that's a long shot. And I don't think it takes much to imagine, but that I don't have $100 million. Let's make that one thing clear, okay? Maybe you thought otherwise, but I'll let you know right now, I don't got $100 million at my disposal. Now, let's say I got $1 million. Actually, $1 million in Canadian or even USD, that's really not all that much money, relatively speaking. Let's stretch that up to 2 million, okay? I think 2 million is like, you're in your 40s or 50s, and hopefully I get there by the time I'm 40 or my 50s, that you own a single family house here in Vancouver, because housing prices are just absolutely through the roof. You got property taxes to pay, you got gutters to clean, windows to clean, a lawn to maintain, right? You don't really got that much disposable income when you're at a net worth of $2 million. And plus you probably still have some sort of a loan or mortgage to pay, you got your kids' tuition to finance. So if I'm at $2 million net wealth, yeah, I would still probably be wearing a Tudor. Maybe I got a couple Rolexes in my collection, GMT Master 2 hopefully by then, or like a 16570 Explorer 2. But I would definitely still be rocking a Tudor for my tool watch. I don't know about having multiple Tudors in the collection at that point, because I don't know what my lifestyle would be by then. If you're gonna ask me, like, let's say if I'm still in my 20s and I got $2 million to spend, would a Richard Mille be on my roadmap? I don't really think so. Maybe I'll get like a Patek Calatrava. I really like the white gold one with the black dial. I'll definitely wear that on a seatbelt grade NATO. I'll promise you that. If I ever get that watch, it will end up on a seatbelt grade NATO. Now let's bump that up a little bit. Let's talk about $5 million. I'll make this quick and short. At $5 million, you got what, 2 or 3 single family houses. You're probably renting 2 of them out. So that's probably when you're really balling slightly. You're not like balling out of control, but you got a little bit of dough to spend, a little bit of disposable income allowance. At that point, I would be probably pretty deep into the Rolex territory, maybe like 2 Rolexes a year, assuming that I don't got anything to pay for. I don't got like no businesses to manage, no kids to finance. Again, if I'm imagining that I'm still in my 20s, then if I had $5 million bucks, that's an interesting question. But would I still appreciate Tudors? I think I would still have a beater Tudor laying around in my collection, because like it's not like they're not good watches. Referring to my previous video, I think Tudors are just fundamentally good watches. They have a good looking lineup. They come from a good heritage, a good brand history, and their positioning on the market, they're still just reliable beater tool watches. And that's not going to change depending on how much money I got going on, or really going out of shape. I gotta keep going, there's people behind me. It's not really going to change my appreciation for the finer things, nor be affected by my appreciation of the finer things. That makes sense. At $5 million, I don't think I would stop liking Tudor. I just wouldn't have that much room in my collection for the amount of Tudors that I got right now, which I think is starting to make a little bit of a sense, bit of a valid point there. I probably wouldn't show Tudors as hard if I'm at the $5 million net worth range. But again, I feel like that's more of a benefit of being in the stage of life that I am right now, to be able to see the beauty in such a hardworking, salt of the earth kind of brand. Maybe by then, maybe at $5 million, I might make YouTube videos talking about how, you know, Patek Philippe on a NATO strap is the best beater watch, everyday watch of all time. And hopefully, if that's the case, you guys will find out. Hopefully in a couple of years, I'll be making videos about how white gold Patek Philippe's are the most durable watches ever. But we'll just have to see. I've gone to a crossroad. Don't really know where I am right now. There's a sign that says, park in, park out, about taking your trash with you. So maybe I'm nearby a campground. I'm gonna go this way. If I look at, you know, I don't think $10 million net worth is gonna be that much different than having 5 mil, right? You're just a little bit richer. Still got businesses to manage, houses you gotta maintain. You still got a lot of allowance, actually twice the amount of allowance probably that you would spend on a monthly basis. Speaking of, I want to talk about the degree of flamboyancy you might mature into if you suddenly become a $10 million net worth individual. Now, I could say all day right now that I'm not going to change as a person. I'm going to stick to my core values, even if I have $10 million sitting in the bank in investments. But I think that's kind of hard to predict because I don't really know what sort of lifestyle a $10 million net worth would afford me. And thinking about that, it could potentially be that, yeah, you know, I'm $10 million net worth. I start going out to events every night. Future Oddpal editing this. Here I was talking about the lifestyle of someone similar to Bruce Wayne, where you're either hopping out of a Lambo or driving into a Batcave. I might just lose the appreciation of seeing the beauty of a $4,000 to $6,000 range watch. And this is making me think that $10 million, that might be the cutoff point of when I stop appreciating these beautiful, purpose-driven watches like Tudor. So I guess there we have it. The answer to our questions. Would Oddpal still appreciate Tudors if he had an X amount of net worth? And $10 million, that's probably when I start losing touch with reality a little bit. Like, that's the amount of money, that's like FU money, you know, as one of my favorite YouTubers would say. That's like the stick your gold Submariner. I'm wearing the Casio F91 today, by the way. This is my exercise watch. But you'll stick your gold Submariner out your sunroof and just say, I've made it. So is Tudor fundamentally a watch for people who are just not as financially well off? I wouldn't say so. I would just say it's a watch that if you are super well off, you probably would not appreciate. But if you're just like an average Joe, you work 9-to-5 job, or even if you start your own business, you would probably still see the beauty in, just like most things. Like, well, the same argument can be made for Rolexes. Would you still like a Rolex if you had $100 million to spend? Well, you probably would, because Rolex comes with that status symbol factor. Probably buy like a Saru GMT or something crazy bust down with factory diamonds. You know, I still love my Yachtmaster. I don't remember the reference number right now. I think 126655 or something like that. Also, on that same note, looking at the comments in a little bit of a different angle, that person might be poking at the fact that Tudor is not a watch that decently well-off people would be buying and adding to their collection. It's essentially like the Seiko 5s to the Seiko lineup, if that even makes sense, or like the C-Class Mercedes to the range of Mercedes. It's like the regular working class person's car or watch. And do I agree with that fact? I think I do, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because again, how many of us will ever hit that $100 million, right? That just sounds so funny. Let's say $10 million, right? Like, how many of us would have $10 million in our life as disposable income? Not many of us. And so under that $10 million club, you probably would still appreciate a watch that is made for a purpose. It's purpose-driven, it's durable, it's built to tell time, right? It's a tool watch. You would still probably be able to appreciate it. So it's not really a watch that you would only get if you're limited by budget, but more so a watch that you would not get if you had unlimited funds. If that makes sense? I think that makes sense. Yeah. I'm gonna keep walking. Let me know what you think. At what level of net worth would it change your perception on your current favorite brand? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the that's a weak snap. Next one.